The Lord here was saddened here because he knew what was ahead of him. They were praising him, but they don't know how much he is truly the Lord of Lords and King of Kings, and he's here to save them. And that later there's going to be a crowd here that in Jerusalem are going to say, crucify him, instead of praising him. A complete opposite here towards the end of the week. And that they don't know that he truly is here to save them, but they're not going to understand it. They don't know it. And they're going to think actually the opposite, But at least some of them. The Lord here is trying to just show more and more his sacrificial willingness to give to the people at the end completely, his presence, and that he is doing this for them, for all of us. Thursday, in the cool of the night, when most of his friends were at home, Jesus took his disciples to a garden. They slept while he prayed alone. Men marched to the garden with clubs and swords while he told his disciples to pray. When the crowd took him to the high priest, his disciples ran away. Because there was time here that Jesus, the night before, on Thursday night, he prayed here in the Garden of Gethsemane. Now, these disciples here were told a couple to sit closer here to the Lord here while he prays, kind of further out, but they ended up sleeping. They couldn't stay awake. They weren't alert. They weren't aware here of what's to come. And Jesus asked them just to pray, but it was hard for them to just do that. It was hard on the Lord, knowing that his time is coming very soon, where he was going to die on the cross and make that sacrifice. And he wanted his friends to continue to fight spiritually with him, but they ended up sleeping. And he prayed, though. He prayed his emotions, all of his heart, to the Lord here, that is God the Father, because he wanted to, strengthen himself here, the flesh part of him, the man part of him, right? Because he is going to suffer here. He is the Lord. He's going to get through this and resurrect, but it is still something that he needs to have the flesh ready, have his flesh prepared. He had to do everything that he needed to do to be ready, to be prepared for this task. The high priest sent Jesus to Pilate on Friday before the first light. God would give the life of his son to make, everything, all wrong things right. So the high priest is the one that is has Jesus in his hands now from that garden when he was unfortunately arrested, captured, taken now to in front of those religious leaders, and then later to the governor of the Roman government, because they were the ones overseeing the Jewish people. There was many people that led up to the Roman Empire taking over the Jews here in Jerusalem. There was also the Babylonians, all these people. But currently at this time with Jesus here living on earth, it was the Roman people, and they were having their own set of rules, and they had to go by those rules. Things were fixed and moved around and just made so that Jesus would be guilty here, right? And it was just unfair. These people were just, taking Jesus, passing Jesus from one person to another, kind of just treating him here as a criminal. So sad. On Friday, he was in front of Pilate bright and early. Angry men made fun of Jesus. Leading up to this time, they were hurting his feelings, mocking him.